My parents skipped my wedding because I married before my perfect sister, and now their flawless family image is finally falling apart. After being together for 4 years, I, 32 female, got married 8 months ago. Everyone came to the wedding except my parents and my sister, Molin, 30 female. Their absence was surprising, but not entirely shocking, especially hers, since we've never really gotten along. Looking back, though, I should have seen it coming. Let me explain our family dynamic. I can't completely fault my parents for always favoring my sister. She's always excelled at everything she's done. From childhood, she was the center of attention wherever she went. As soon as she could walk, she began winning every spelling bee, science fair, and talent show. In high school, she was class president, valedictorian, and prom queen. Tall, slim, and beautiful, she began modeling in college before shifting to a business degree. She got her first modeling job in her sophomore year, and I still remember how my parents threw a big celebration. They invited our relatives and her friends, framing her first professional headshot and hanging it above the fireplace, where it still hangs today. That same year, I earned my degree in computer science. Their only reaction was a quiet, well done, before they went back to planning Molin's next photo shoot. After graduating, she landed a job at a major firm and quickly climbed the ladder. By 30, she already had a corner office and a company car as a senior executive. Meanwhile, I work as a mid-level software developer for a respectable tech company. I'm proud of my work. It's stable and meaningful, but not the kind of career parents usually brag about. Growing up, I often heard, "Molin never struggles with her weight," or "You could look as nice as your sister if you tried harder." I learned to ignore the remarks by high school, but they still left a mark. Over time, I accepted that my parents didn't take pride in my achievements the way they did in Molin's. For years, I tried to earn their approval, taking classes they suggested, joining clubs they liked, even attempting modeling once, which of course failed, something Molin still teases me about. But nothing was ever enough. I was always the other daughter, while they idolized her. In my mid-20s, I finally stopped trying. I focused on building a life I actually enjoyed, advancing my career, surrounding myself with people who valued me, and maintaining only surface-level contact with my parents to avoid conflict. During obligatory holiday dinners and family events, I would smile politely while they gushed about Molin's latest promotion, boyfriend, or vacation. They never noticed my emotional distance. They were too busy admiring her. He appreciated my dry humor, my coding skills, and even my body type. From day one, he never compared me to anyone else or asked me to change. After 4 years together, he proposed while we were having takeout and watching our favorite show at home. It was perfect. When I told my parents about the engagement, their reaction should have been my first warning sign. There was no excitement, no congratulations, just silence. Then my mother asked if I was sure about getting married so soon and suggested I get in better shape before the wedding. My father barely said anything. At the engagement party, their behavior stood out. My husband later told me he overheard them whispering to Molin on the phone, who was crying. Apparently, they were saying this wasn't supposed to happen, that they never expected me to marry before her. Planning the wedding made their attitude even clearer. Even though Molin wasn't engaged, my mother had already created several Pinterest boards for her dream wedding. She showed no interest in helping me plan mine. When I chose a simple but elegant A-line gown that made me feel beautiful, she just said it was practical and flattering enough. Thankfully, my future mother-in-law was amazing. She treated me like her own daughter and helped with nearly every detail. My husband and I carefully checked the guest list before sending invitations, both digitally and on paper. I know for sure my parents received theirs because the electronic invites showed red receipts. When they didn't RSVP, I texted, called, and emailed multiple times, only to get vague excuses about being busy. Eventually, I stopped stressing about it and focused on the wedding itself. My in-laws were incredibly supportive, helping with everything from seating charts to flowers. Even at my bridal shower, hosted by my husband's sister, no one mentioned my parents' absence, though it was painfully obvious. The wedding day was beautiful. We held a morning ceremony followed by a relaxed garden reception. Everyone commented on how happy and in love we looked, but their absence hurt. Seeing empty front row seats and missing out on the father-daughter dance left a hollow ache. After the honeymoon, I called to ask why they hadn't come. My mother launched into a long speech about how I had excluded them by never sending a formal invitation. She claimed she had always dreamed of helping plan her daughter's weddings and couldn't understand why I had left them out. I double-checked our records and confirmed that both electronic and physical invitations had been sent and delivered. I knew they were lying, but I didn't confront them. I just apologized and ended the call. Later, my husband admitted he had noticed things I had overlooked, how they looked disappointed instead of happy when we got engaged, and how they always made excuses to avoid helping. He hadn't said anything earlier to spare me more stress, but in hindsight, it all fit together. The truth was clear. They couldn't stand that their less successful daughter got married before their star child. Their reaction only confirmed what I had always suspected, but never wanted to believe, that in their eyes, I would never measure up. The saddest part is realizing that even my wedding day, a moment meant for love and new beginnings, became another battle in their obsession with maintaining a perfect family image centered around Molin. Recently, Molin got engaged to someone she's been dating for a year. From what relatives tell me, my parents are overjoyed, already planning an extravagant wedding, booking luxury venues, and taking her to private dress fittings. All the mother-daughter time I was denied is now being poured into her. Interestingly, many relatives are refusing to attend her upcoming engagement party and wedding. Apparently, my parents' behavior during mine became a major topic of discussion. When people ask me why my parents skipped my wedding, I simply tell them the truth. They couldn't handle the fact that I got married before their favorite daughter. I state it plainly, without bitterness, just the reality as I see it. This isn't an exaggeration or a plea for sympathy. My parents contacted me a few days ago, accusing me of deliberately trying to ruin Molin's wedding. According to them, several relatives they spoke with are now avoiding her wedding events. My cousin, who my sister confided in, told me that people are hesitant to attend because they've heard about how my parents treated me. My parents claim I'm jealous of my sister's extravagant wedding and that I've been spreading false stories. But the truth is, I've only shared the facts. Maybe they should reflect on their behavior instead of blaming me for the consequences. If honesty makes them look bad, that's not my fault. As things unfold, I find it increasingly difficult to pretend I have a relationship with my parents. Their behavior during my wedding made it clear that I would never be enough for them, no matter what I did. Their absence at my ceremony isn't the hardest part. It's realizing I never had the loving, supportive parents I always wanted. Now, I'm focused on building a life with someone who truly values me for who I am, I'll keep you updated if anything significant changes. Since my last post 2 weeks ago, a lot has happened. I finally decided to confront my parents face to face about their behavior at my wedding and their latest accusations that I ruined my sister's big day. After reading your supportive comments, I knew it was time to address everything openly. When I tried to discuss their messages about tarnishing the family name, they quickly turned the call into another round of accusations, claiming I was jealous of Moline and had planned the whole thing. For the first time ever, I didn't defend myself. I simply agreed, but not in the way they expected. I said, "You're right. I am jealous, not of Moline's career, her looks, or her success. I'm jealous of the unconditional love and support you've given her, which you never once offered me." There was silence. Then my mother said I was exaggerating and that they had always treated us equally. Something in me snapped. Years of suppressed pain came rushing out. I reminded them of every birthday they ignored, every moment when Moline's achievements overshadowed mine. When she got a modeling callback, my mother canceled my high school graduation dinner. Her prom dress cost more than my college textbooks for an entire year. I told them how painful it was watching them plan my sister's imaginary wedding for years while showing no interest in my real one. I described how it felt to see their empty seats at my ceremony, how my mother-in-law stepped in to help me with everything from dress shopping to planning. Instead of acknowledging anything, they turned it back on me. My father asked, "Why didn't you say something before if you felt this way?" As if I hadn't been trying for years. My mother accused me of being spiteful for discussing my feelings with relatives. Then she said something that clarified everything. "We never thought you'd go so far as to ruin Moline's wedding out of envy. But we always knew you were insecure about her success. That's not how we raised you." That's when I realized they weren't listening. To them, it wasn't about my pain or their actions. It was about protecting Moline's image. They cared more about her upcoming wedding than the hurt they caused me. For once, I didn't try to fix things. I didn't apologize. I told them calmly, "You're right about one thing. I was raised by you. You taught me I'd never measure up, that Moline's accomplishments would always matter more, and that maintaining your perfect family image was more important than my feelings. But unintentionally, you also taught me I deserve better than this." My father paused and replied coldly, "Maybe it's time we stop pretending we're bad parents, since you've already decided we are. You clearly enjoy making us look terrible. We thought family would help us solve problems. But you've made your choice." Then my mother added, "Maybe you just can't handle not being the center of attention. We tried to treat you both fairly. It's not our fault you chose to play the victim." I didn't argue. Their words confirmed everything I'd said. They couldn't accept any responsibility. I ended the call with a simple goodbye. To my surprise, I felt relieved afterward. I cried, but not out of heartbreak, out of release. For the first time, I had said everything I needed to say without guilt. Later, my husband found me watching the sunset. He sat beside me and took my hand. After a while, I asked, "They're never going to change, are they?" He replied, "No, but you have, and that's what matters." He was right. I've changed. The girl who once tried endlessly to earn her parents' approval no longer exists. I've accepted that my parents will never be who I need them to be. And that's less painful than waiting for them to change. For the first time, I don't care about my sister's wedding or the family drama. I've spoken my truth, and now they must deal with the outcome. It feels like a lifelong burden has finally lifted. It's not the ending I wanted, but maybe it's the one I needed, to stop chasing love that should have been given freely. 3 days after confronting my parents, things took an unexpected turn. Moline decided to get involved, but her plan backfired. Yesterday morning, she sent me a long, self-righteous message. Her usual condescending tone was obvious. She wrote, "What you said to Mom and Dad was inappropriate. They've supported us all our lives. You can't call them bad parents just because you're insecure about your own choices." She went on, "I know your wedding didn't turn out how you wanted, but that doesn't mean you should ruin mine. Not everything is a competition, Rebecca." I didn't respond. Engaging with her only fuels her manipulation. Instead, I blocked her number. But Moline doesn't handle being ignored well. A few hours later, my husband called me laughing, so hard he could barely speak. Apparently, Moline had found his number through a mutual contact and sent him a series of texts explaining why our sisterly relationship was strained. She started politely. "As Rebecca's sister, I care deeply about our family's well-being." But soon, her true intentions surfaced. She told my husband he had a responsibility to help me behave better, calling me too sensitive to understand the bigger picture. She suggested he guide me toward being more reasonable before I damaged family ties. The real kicker came when she wrote, "Surely you understand that maintaining good relationships with successful family members like me could benefit your future. Rebecca's behavior only harms her prospects and yours." My husband, a software architect with an MBA, found her attempts to manipulate him hilarious. He said, "She clearly doesn't know me at all." That evening, we laughed over her messages together. Seeing her tactics fail so spectacularly felt freeing. I realized she hasn't changed. Still the same insecure person who puts others down to feel superior. In high school, she tried to turn my friends against me. Now, she's trying to use my husband. Different decade, same tactics. But my reaction is different now. 10 years ago, her words would have crushed me. 5 years ago, they'd have hurt me deeply, period. Today, I just find them absurd. My husband's response to her text was perfect. "Thank you for your concern about Rebecca. As her husband, my priority is supporting her happiness, not managing her behavior. Please address future concerns directly to her. Have a nice day." She sent one last message. "I see she's poisoned you against the family too. Don't say I didn't try to help when this all falls apart." Ironically, her interference only brought us closer. Her failure to manipulate either of us confirmed what I already knew. She still views everything as a competition. We spent the evening joking about it and planning a weekend trip instead. I've come to understand that true family isn't about appearances or control. It's about support, laughter, and standing by each other when others try to manipulate you. I'm more certain than ever that keeping my distance from the wedding chaos is the right choice. Success isn't about impressing others. It's about living peacefully and surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. By that measure, I feel more successful than ever. 2 weeks after my sister's failed attempt to control my husband, things have escalated. My parents are now desperately trying to fix their reputation. I've learned they've been calling relatives individually, claiming I'm jealous of Moline's grand wedding and spreading lies because mine was less impressive. They even say I left them out of my wedding intentionally to act like a victim, though they've lived at the same address and used the same email for 30 years. Their story is collapsing fast. Many relatives don't believe them. In fact, several have shared their own experiences of my parents' favoritism. One aunt even said my mother pulled similar stunts at past family weddings to ensure Moline was the center of attention. Now, the fallout is clear. Some family members who were meant to play key roles in the wedding have withdrawn their support. Their exclusive venue and designer contacts are suddenly unavailable. At a recent gathering, things hit a breaking point. When someone casually asked about my wedding photos, my mother lost her temper. She accused me of changing after marriage and trying to destroy the family. Her outburst stunned everyone and further damaged her image. It's ironic. Her desperate attempt to protect her reputation is exactly what's ruining it. The more they try to paint me as the problem, the more people see the truth. Even my uncle, who always stayed silent to keep peace, apologized for not speaking up sooner. He and his family have now decided to skip Moline's wedding events altogether. I haven't had to say a word. The truth is doing the work for me. Every time they twist the story, their behavior exposes itself. As my husband said, they built their perfect family image on emotional manipulation and favoritism. It was bound to collapse eventually. And he's right. I feel lighter, freer, and no longer trapped in the need for their approval. The pressure to manage Moline's emotions or protect their family image is gone. Sometimes the best revenge isn't action. It's letting the truth speak for itself. I'm grateful to everyone who encouraged me to stand my ground. You've shown me what real support looks like, even from strangers online. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more real-life stories that reveal the truth behind closed doors.